think that's alright. I'm not very well today, so if you're hearing my voice, it's just terrible. Anyway, so I've got 2 parcels at the minute. As you can see, it's quite big. And this is by Tom, from Tom's Refurbishments, that helped me years ago with the dome lights and everything like that. So I ran him up and asked, I need a part making because I'm eventually going to get back into 3D printing to help me on do some parts, but I just wanted to see if he'd be able to make this one part, and he said that was fair enough, you know. I think for what it was, it's a decent price. I paid 80 quid for this part because of course time and resources on his half, which was understandable, and I thought, while I'm at it, I'll also have another part made. But it's giving me hindsight that, you know, I am going to probably have to get 3D printed myself because of how I'm going to want to do things. But this part, I'm very proud. I ain't even opened it yet. So anyway, yeah, so I've got to make sure that I don't break it because this is 80 quid. And I'd be very upset if I did break it. So it's going to go somewhere out of the way so it can't get damaged until I come to moulding it. So essentially, what it was, before I moulded the Dark Imperial dome bin, sorry, the neck bin, as the core, and then the rings would slide over the top. This time I wanted that more solid look where the rings were actually attached, but instead of having a whole full plug, I thought, why not just get 1/8 of the part, make a mould of that, paste my fiberglass in, pull it out 8 times, join it together, and then I'll have a solid neck bin. And that was the idea. So the strut is, from what I know, should all be straight from top to bottom. So I didn't have to build it by hand. That's the beauty with 3D printing. But yeah, this, oh yeah, wow. It's weird to see in person. But yeah, here it is. It's not just one part like I mentioned. Oh, it's got a bit of weight. But here, very nicely packaged. I'll put this to the side. Here is, oh wow, the 3D print of the neck bin. It is a big hefty piece of plastic. So, things to note, now seeing it in person and I've got the part off to the side, I've been working on something, so I'll get to it in the future, but I'm not uploading anything until a future video. I could never have done something like this, but this, so yeah, he built it so that, I'm guessing this was to make it so that it, if it was curved, it would have made it difficult for the printer to just, it would just been easier to just have a flat bottom, I think. And probably he's thinking in case as well of me needing to mould it, I don't have to then create dummy molds, so that does come inside with that. I asked him, it's done to imp 1J, but this time there are some key differences this time, I think you can tell. The struts on these ones are a lot chunkier and they don't taper, which at first I was like, oh, I don't know how bad, but actually I kind of like it because I'm now, with these new ones, I've gone for the whole chunky look. So I don't mind that the struts are just a straight strut all the way to the top, whereas on the originals and on mine they did taper. But I thought, if I'm not going to have the slats tapered this time, because I'm, like I say, I'll get into it that I've been building something. I think you can evidently tell what it fucking is, but I will show it off when it's finished. But it's coming along very nicely, how I envisioned my Imperials, let's just say. And it only took me 2 days, so I've got quite a far with it, and then this is going to help. So the differences between this and the official props is, one, I wanted the bins to taper in more. I'm exaggerating here. I think they were a little too broad because I want the dome to overhang quite a bit. So that means these neck rings are a little flared out more, but they're still going to be about 10 mil, I think, if I'm getting them, if I've done my math right. hanging off the edge, or 5mm, something like that, how an Imperial Dalek does it. So I took the measurements from Imp 1J and I gave him the bottom measurement, and then I said the other ones I still want to gradually get smaller by 5mm. The height is, I think it is slightly a little taller than the original. And then the other thing I asked of him is, I liked when I saw his version having that ledge to hide the wheels. So yeah, to see it in the person, and I hope I don't break it, but there's, it don't look like much, but it is, that's 80 quid right there. And that's because I reached out. Now what I will have to do is, on certain bits that are going to be shown, like the neck rings and these struts, I think you can get not resin like normal resin, but a resin that is designed for filling gaps in 3D prints to get rid of these layer lines. But I'll have to look into that, because everywhere else doesn't really need it. Everywhere else, these bits here, I'll have to take pictures, but I think I'll zoom in. You can see this bit here, but you can see the top, it's smooth, so this doesn't need anything. So yeah, neck ring, or rings, and bin and strut. I'm really happy with that, so I'm gonna actually put it off to the side. Don't drop, please. I'm gonna see. This should be eventually. If you could see it, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed what I'm on about. But it more or less does the job, so that should allow the hemisphere to, and the little stalk to center the bowl. Just this is why I need 3D printing, so I can do this again. So that's the jig. I just said just something basic. It looks like a button, doesn't it? A button eye. I said about adding circles just to cut on price printing, and also it would help if I need to be able to see as well. I've got such a dry throat today. You wouldn't believe how unwell I've been. And then the other thing, I don't know if it's going to work, but I saw it. It came to me, and I was on a bus ride, like I always do. I'm looking at stuff, and I saw this thing, and I thought, oh, that'll actually, maybe that will look all right. It might actually work. I don't know yet. But I bought this thing that I'm hoping I might have to do. Before I was rudely interrupted because it died. I'll get to the fin. I'm wanting this time the pupil to actually be like that concave section again on these ones. But what I found was, perfectly for the shape, I found these little chrome, not a washer, but it's, I'm wondering if that's going to look all right in the eye, and then it'll have the, because I basically, even though it's good to like make a little pin and then place it over the top, I want that effect, like the 60s Daleks have those hemispheres that push through. You can see the little shadow, and that sort of happens with the pupil of the iris, and why on some pictures, if you've seen, one of the prop has lost its pupil over time. No, not pupil, iris. This is the iris, not the pupil. Has lost it and it's dropped out, and you can see the concave, which I did originally on Imp 1J. So I want to do that again for this new eye stock. But yeah, I saw this, and I am going to have to adjust it because I want it to fit. Because it's basically, it's for your sink little, where when it rises, the water, I don't know what you call it. Our ball's got an itchy ear. At the minute, so we are able to reuse these again. I know it's been back and forth, but this is now the ones for it. At the minute, it's just a chrome piece of plastic from a can. It didn't work out well because it scratched all the chrome on when I started cutting it. So when I saw this, I was like, that's actually good. Oh, that's, yeah, I don't know, maybe. I like that. This is my idea, so I don't want anyone stealing my idea, because I'm rather proud of that. So yeah, a chrome, I think that looks better than the tint that I used actually. So once it's got its pupil in, which I'm going to have to build. I thought of what I need, but I'm going to have to 3D print this part in order, because I think this is actually metal. I mean, I could grind it, but I don't want to risk the thing of breaking it. It cost me £8 for this. £3, but then £8 altogether for delivery, because I'm not on Prime at the minute. But yeah, there's my these. So like I say, when I get to show it off, I will be very happy to show what I've got. So I've got loads of these that I will be buying, and it's metal, so I'm rather proud of that. So yeah, I'll have to design a 3D print and place it in this eye, so then when this slots on, this just gets glued. I'll be making a mould of the eyeball and the plunger, now that I know that instead of having the mould tipped like that and then having a hollow tube, you put a tube on, so when you make a mould, the tube that was there creates a spout. But let's just say I'm very happy with, basically this is a mock-up, and it's gone quite fast because it's a type of foam. Very light as well. I can pick the fin up, the shoulders and the skirt all in one, and the base because it's attached. So there's the eye. I guess I can show now that I like that chrome. I really like that. And then the other thing that's getting used for it is, these are from B&Q, which I'll buy loads of these again, and they're for the bottom of your sofa. So I thought, oh, that looks like an Imperial dome. I might just have to paint this underledge. And then I used to do this as a method when I did Imperials years ago, and I'm going to redo this because I like that they look flatter. And this was just for body filler from the underneath of a spray can, but obviously I won't be using body filler. I'll probably make fiberglass ones so that they don't break and that they've got structure. And that's what the dome like looks like. I like that. These are basically meant to look like fan-made ones. That's the whole point of them. But I am really enjoying the way it's looking, and it's still the same height as in Punjay, but I will get into detail when I've done it and it's ready, mocked up, and it's ready for moulding, because I'm going to be using cheap materials for moulding it, such as casting plaster for the skirt mould. Don't need as much silicone, that I've learned. And then yeah, you know, the neck is now how it's going to be, and then the dome I'm 3D printing, and then I'll be taking a mould of that. And this time the base and the skirt are going to be moulded together. I've just decided if it can't fit through a door, it's not the end of the world, but they are still small, so they're not going to be finished. You'll just have to take my word and see when it's finished. But on that note, for what I've shown, and for me not feeling well, I will there will be another video coming up of something to do with cosplay, but I'll leave that for another time, and it's something to do with remembrance of the Daleks. So that'll be another video for you to look forward to. Don't know when, but I will. So I'll see you soon.